Hello and welcome to Zoho Begin. In this video, I'm going to give you a walkthrough of the main components within the platform so that you can understand where to find basic things like your contacts, companies, deals, etc. Zoho Begin is a simple sales pipeline tool, and straight away we've opened it up and we've landed on the deals page. Here I've got a couple of test deals here. But as you can see, these are sort of basic cards, and you've got some stages across the top. If I want, I can create new stages, move them left and right, and can make them map into my sales process. So if you've got a short sales cycle, maybe you don't need to go to price quote. You just basically have the conversation and then close one, close last, etc. Maybe it's a little bit longer. You've got a few more steps. Maybe provide a demo or perhaps provide some samples. So you can build the pipeline to be relevant to you. Some basic things here. So I've got a couple of these test deals, and I can click and drag them around so I can easily move things forward. And ideally what you would do is you'd get set up for the day and you'd go through everyone in each stage and you'd try to move everyone forward to either close one or close lost. So close one being they've said yes, they've signed on the dotted line, maybe paid their invoice, and close lost being no, not interested, or it took too long and you just want to take it out of the pipeline. So as you can see, there's a few things highlighting down the bottom here, so I can add a deal there, or I can click on the dots and add a new deal there. But if I go into one of the deals, you can see these are the pipeline stages that it's gone through. So when you're looking at it, you know where it is, how it's gotten there. We've got some more information such as the contact, the company, any tags you might want to say, highlight particular service streams or types of customers or anything really important to know. So that way you can also put the description on and you can start to categorize people. You do have, this is opened up on the activities. Now we don't have any activities here, but we can quickly create a task, and that might be follow up, and we'll set the due date for tomorrow. Now we can have it repeat or be a reminder, and then give it a little description, mark as priority or complete. And that'll create a task here. And there's a spot where you can go and see all the tasks. The next is event, so that'll be like setting up a meeting or logging something that you did, or a call. So if you wanted to log that you made a call or even schedule a call in the future, you can do that there. Emails, now at the moment we don't have the emails hooked up, but you can have your email come in from things like Google or Microsoft. You would just connect them on the back end and then you'll have the email history with that client. Stage history, it's showing you as it's moved through these stages that it's what date, how long it took in each stage, and did they go all the way through the process, or did they skip to the end, or did they go back a stage? You'll see that here. Any files that you've sent them, or could be a contract, an agreement, a quote document, etc. And then any products, and we'll go into products later. The first two things which I didn't show you initially was the timeline, which is at the moment we've created a task. This might have additional info. For example, when you update a tag, when you change the description. You've also got the ability to add notes. Spoke about getting an upgrade. And you can add titles, attachments, etc. to that. But it just gives you a good bit of history on what's happened. So when I go back here, you can see our note added in the timeline. So you understand what's happened and where the customer is at. You also have some other things like sending mail, editing the record, etc., which we'll go into in another video. The deals renders in a pipeline, but you can have it turn into a list view, and you can then start to organize and move some of the columns here. If you want, you can also sort ascending or descending. Perhaps it could be you want to sort by alphabetical order on the company name or the deal name, or you could create potentially another field and then have it sort on that, for example, the deal value. Then if you want to filter, if you've got a lot in the pipeline, you can filter by, things that are closing next month or just yours if there's multiple employees. And at any time, you can search across the whole system. So if I wanted to search for my test records, it'll show me the contacts, the deals, the companies, the tasks, etc. So that's quite handy when someone calls and says, you ask their name, you can quickly search their name and get the whole history on your dealings with them. This is good when you've got a large number of contacts to deal with. Speaking of contacts, we keep our contact records in the contact list. And again, like that deal opportunity, you've got the timeline, notes, activities, etc. But this is about the individual. And again, you can store all this information, a description, other info. You can create custom fields. Perhaps you want to understand what their favorite coffee is, what their dog's name is, and you can bring that into here. You do have the ability to store the company as well. So a company is a grouping of contacts. So if there are 2 or 3 people that work at a particular company, you would have them listed here, and on the contact record, you would have them listed up against the company. So again, the company is a good place to store information, what you're doing with them. So putting their phone, website, their address, and then you can add additional fields as well. So once you've got the company, maybe you might have spoken to 2 or 3 people at the company, but your business is with them at the company level or the business level, rather than the individuals. Just depends on whether you have a customer-centric model or a B2B-centric model. Then you can track some basic products. So this generally would be an indicative product so that you can understand what is it they're interested in. So maybe you might be service hours, or it could be some packages that you have or some products. If you've got a very product heavy business like a shop, for example, then you're more likely to use a point of sale system. This is more for that high level discussion and really just an indicative of what someone's interested in so that you can prioritize how much time you spend on that contact. This is your list of activities, so you can see all your tasks or the past ones, anything overdue. You can also filter up here in the tabs. You can see all the meetings that you've got coming up and perhaps any of the calls that you've had in the past or you've got coming up. So that way you can understand and filter and just go to a to-do list. So it might be all your debt collection calls, or it might be your follow-ups on the proposals. So you can sit down and batch process your activities. And then lastly, you've got the dashboard. And this can give you some high-level overview on number of contacts, deals won, calls completed, top 5 companies, etc. And gives you some basic stats. You can add a few KPIs or charts as well, and it really just gives you a basic overview so you've got an understanding of the business. You can get notifications when other people do things, and you can get signals, which is basically an indication, kind of like a notification, but when a contact does a certain thing. So maybe they've moved to close one, or they've opened an email, or they've done something that indicates a level of interest. You've got the plus button up here, and you can create a new deal, contact, company, product very quickly just from the top there. And the settings, which we'll go into in another video. Other than that, that is the high level overview of Zoho Begin. It's quite simple, and if you're just getting started in CRM, it's a great place to begin. So thank you for watching.